Welcome, this is Master Prophet Noel teaching you Santeria, the Black Magician School of Money, Volume 1 and 2 CD set. In this course, you will learn the many ways the Black Magician convinces his followers to bring him wealth. We will continue with today's teaching, Santeria, the Black Magician School of Money, Volume 1 and 2 CD set. We'll be right back with today's teaching. Principle number 1. Many of the church leaders today are black magicians. Your pastor, bishop, and church leader is secretly a black magician, and their thirst for the tithes and offerings you bring, the thirst to wear designer clothes everywhere they go, their thirst to drive expensive cars and live in luxury homes is a hidden signal that they're using their power and influence to get you, the church member, to serve them and maintain their quality of lifestyle. Your pastor, bishop, or church leader is secretly a black magician because he's using his spiritual powers to influence you to bring him wealth. Now, the Bible warns that all church leaders must not be lovers of money. 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 3, the New Living Translation. So why does your pastor, bishop, or church leader continually asks you for money? They beg you to tithe, to give donations, and remind you that in Malachi chapter 3 verse 9 curse that you're stealing from God when you don't want to support their ministry financially. Church leaders today will tell you that God will bless you if you give. God will restore a happy home if you sow a $1,000 seed. God will give you the house, the car you dream of if you make the financial vow. This is a big lie spoken from the mouth of church leaders today that are the secret black magicians casting money spells on their church members. These men that control organized religion are secretly black magicians that are using their influence and power to get their church members to bring them wealth. In Santeria, the Black Magician School of Money, I will teach you the philosophy, the methods, the secrets all black magicians use to cast spells on their church members and spiritually influence them to bring them wealth. Listen to this live testimony of my experience with black magic when a woman was casting a spell on me. Listen closely to this powerful testimony.
Majority of women that do black magic, Charlene, the statistics on women are usually women that are African American, and they're usually women that are single that don't have a husband. Those are usually the criteria of women that use black magic. They're usually ugly looking women, and I'm sorry that, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm telling you where it's reality. Anytime you look at a woman that is using black magic, she's usually single, she's usually African American, she's usually struggling with her money situation, and she usually has problems in money and wealth, and that's why she picks up that magical art. Because with black magic, she can control men to bring them money. This is what I teach in my course called Money Slaves. She creates money slaves.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So when a woman, think about it for a moment, Charlene. You look at a woman, she's ugly. She doesn't have any money potential. She's got no education. She's African American. She will always go to her roots and begin to say, let me do black magic. Now, she knows she can't get a man. She knows this. And trust me, I got a lot of these women in my ministry, and I train women to function in this avenue. And believe me, it works. It works for a lot of people. Even at Jada, I've trained her, and she could tell you some situations. So what she'll do is she'll look at your man, and she'll say, oh, he's a good provider. Now, she knows she can't take your man away from you because she's not good enough. But she will cast a spell on him. And what happens is if she casts enough spells on him, your man will start to look her direction and will cause him to walk away from you. And I got thousands of testimonies of women, of men leaving their wives for ugly women because they knew the art of black magic. And I got a lot of them. So what they're looking to do, Charlene, is create money slaves. They want a man to support them. Majority of women know that when they walk the earth by themselves, they can't pay for a beautiful house. They can't pay for cars. They can't live this life. Majority of women get paid less than men. This is the reality of the world. So if you're African American and you're not good looking, you're going to either make worse money in this world because the world that we live in is looking for beautiful women. This is just reality 101. Now, if you got an education and if you got other things working for yourself, then you can maybe, could get under that little rule. But the rule of the world is they look at women for their beauty. That's just the way this world works. So women know that they can't make enough money. So what they do, they find men that become money slaves. They cast spells on the man. What they begin to do is give men oral. A lot of women that do black magic are they use sex magic. Sex magic is when a woman that really is not attractive, she doesn't have anything going for her, but she begins to learn how to ejaculate a man more effectively. And majority of women don't even know that this world exists. So when she touches your man, she will make him come like 5 times stronger than an actual woman will touch your man, and he don't even want you to give him oral. Because majority of women don't even know how to perform it correctly. Now, another thing that a woman does, she gives them anal. Majority of women do not give their man anal sex. So they say, Master Prophet, no. Well, guess what? If you don't want to give your man anal sex or oral sex, reality is, and trust me, I do this for 12 years and I make a lot of money. These women will give him all the anal sex he wants. And then he'll come to you and he'll say, honey, let's do this. And then you're like, why you want to try something new? What's going on? Why you do? And you don't know that he's touching someone else, but because you're too religious, you can't see the sign. You see what I'm saying, Charlene?
Yeah, make a lot of sense. That was make a sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So these women have mastered sex magic, and this is an art. I trained this, and Jada could tell you this. This really works. They take a man and they make him ejaculate in seconds. They are masters of it. Why? Because they know they're not beautiful. They know they're not desiring. So when they take a man, they pull his penis down. They know how to ejaculate him so good that it causes him to explode in ecstasy. So that man, no matter how ugly the woman is, he will fall in love with her. Now, you say, Master Prophet, how do you know about it? I learned black magic because they were doing it on me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
So let me give you my testimony, Charlene, so you can see that I know what I'm talking about. Charlene, my course called Walking into the Light was my experience of me getting power. And I talked about that I connected with this woman that was into Santeria, and I tell my whole life story around it. Well, Sylvia had this woman that was called Grandma, and she was an old woman. She was about maybe 70 years old. I mean, this was a wrinkly-ass old lady. So she used to come to the house, and Sylvia used to give her coffee. She was a nice lady. We would say, how you doing, and everything. One day, I went into the living room, and my penis was so aroused. And I'm not being disrespectful, Charlene, but if I'm gonna be truthful and I'm gonna teach you something, I understand. I gotta be who I am, because if I try to hide and sing, then you won't get nothing.
Yeah,
when Grandma was in the house and Sylvia used to give her coffee, one day I went into the house and we had an apartment, and my penis was so aroused and I couldn't understand it. I kept saying, damn, why my penis was so aroused? And she would come to me, this old woman with her raggedy ass self with all these wrinkles, and she come in and I'm poking her with my penis. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm not understanding this. Remember, I'm a Christian person. I don't know nothing about black magic. And then this kept happening over and over. I started going to the living room and she would hug me and my penis would be 100% erected and I would be poking this old woman. And I started to get these ideas of penetrating her. And then I started seeing myself fantasize about it, but I didn't understand what was going on, Charlene, because I was never trained in the occult. All I was trained was about Jesus. And this is what happened that showed me about this level. Charlene, one day, Sylvia cooked a meal, and she said, I want you to take these bowl of food to Grandma's house. Now, as I was crossing the street to go to Grandma's house, a demon spirit was convincing me to penetrate the old woman. And I was ready to penetrate her. All in my mind was that I was going to knock on the door and I was going to kiss her in her mouth. And the way she responded, I was going to pull her in the bed and I was going to ejaculate all over her. Now, this is what I had in my mind, Charlene, and I'm being real honest, that the moment we knocked on the door, she opened the door. And at that moment, I saw all the statues of Santeria on the floor and candles everywhere. It was the moment I awakened, this woman was doing black magic on me.
Oh, wow.
So when people tell me, Master Prophet, how can you teach this? It's because I'm telling you what I know. I only can teach you what I know. At that moment, Charlene, when I saw all those candles on the floor and all those statues, the power of black magic was broken, and I awakened, and I immediately knew what she was up to. But if she was smart, she would have not showed me those candles, and I would have never been awakened.